The 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. This is Chrysler's all-new minivan. It is the successor to the Town & Country as well as the Dodge Grand Caravan, and you're going to want to know a lot about this car because I think it is going to be a huge seller. I'm Jay, and welcome to this latest episode of Car Buzz Unboxing Reviews, and yes, the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica is here, and it is on sale right now. And speaking of which, I want to thank Norma Dean Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for letting Car Buzz come on down and film this for you today. So, the Chrysler Pacifica. Now, it just debuted at the Detroit Auto Show earlier this year, specifically last January, and it is the successor to the Chrysler Town & Country. Now, for a while, we thought that the Town & Country name was going to continue, but Chrysler decided, well, because this vehicle is just so new and represents such a huge leap forward, the Town & Country name was just, it didn't fit this car, and they revived the Pacifica name, which was the name of a crossover Chrysler built from 2003 till 2007. So, yeah, I was a little surprised that Pacifica was the name, or specifically the chosen one, but I think it matches this car very well. But let's start up this engine for you here, because it sounds actually really good. Okay, so that was the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6. I'll get to more details about that in just a few minutes, but I want to talk to you now about this exterior design because I think it's beautiful. I mean, it doesn't look so much like a minivan, and that was done on purpose. In fact, people from Chrysler were telling me at Detroit last year that one of the main design goals was to give this vehicle a lot of crossover influence, because as you well know, crossovers are the hot segment right now, and well, Chrysler didn't want to give up on the minivan entirely, and they realized that, well, we need to infuse some of that crossover sexy styling into our next generation minivan, and this is the result. And compared to the previous Town & Country and Dodge Grand Caravan, man, those things just looked like boxes, and this is just really beautiful. I really like that character line on the side. It goes right through the door handles and tapers down into the rear bumper. And you have to see this vehicle in person just to really appreciate just all the little nice curves and styling that they gave it. I don't think just in this video alone it does the car justice. And one of my first notices about this car is that it didn't look as big as its predecessor. But in fact, and when I mentioned that to one of the Chrysler people at Detroit, they told me no. This Pacifica is even bigger than the Town & Country. Now, this particular one, this is the Touring L+. It's the next to the highest trim that you can get, and it comes with these optional 18-inch wheels. 17-inch wheels are standard, and on the top of the line limited, you can get 19-inch wheels. And the trims offered are the base LX, Touring, Touring L, Touring L+, which is this car, and the limited, top of the line. All right, so back to this engine here. Like I said, this is the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6. Here it has a total of 287 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. It's mated exclusively to a 9-speed automatic transmission, which sends power to the front wheels only. Now, this Pentastar V6, it's used in a lot of Chrysler models today. For an example, it is the base engine in both the Dodge Challenger and Charger. And yeah, this is a nice engine. 0 to 60 miles per hour in the Pacifica is 7.3 seconds, and that's faster than the Honda Odyssey and Toyota Sienna. And total fuel economy, 18 miles per gallon in the city, 28 on the highway, and a combined 22. Pretty good for a vehicle that weighs over 4,500 pounds. So let's talk about this interior here. Now, because this is a pretty high trim level, it comes very well equipped. You have this black perforated leather seats, and it's just, I gotta tell you, Chrysler they're marketing this vehicle to be a luxury minivan. Even the base LX model, it's more premium than if Dodge built a new Dodge Caravan version of this. And for the record, the Dodge Grand Caravan, as it is right now, it's going to be built for a little while longer just because it's inexpensive and it's got a lot of space. It's a great people mover. But in another year or two, the Dodge Grand Caravan will be gone forever, and This new Pacifica will be Fiat Chrysler's sole minivan offering. And check that out. I really like it how for each of the dual sliding doors, you just open that handle a little bit and the door just opens itself automatically. Really nice. Now this interior, man, this is what minivans are all about, and this is why I like them. They're just full of space. I mean, crossovers, yeah, they try to, squeeze that third row seats in sometimes, and it just doesn't work. Here you got 3 rows of seats. Really, really comfortable. This particular one is an 8-passenger seating. Costs an extra $695, but 7-passenger seating is standard. And as you can see, there's just lots of cubbies and storage bins and power outlets. I mean, this is made for families and long distance travel. And as you can see there's in the front seat headrest behind them. You have screen monitors for the second row passengers. It's just a very technology-packed minivan too. Now, the overall interior styling, specifically the dash, I really like it. It's simple and it looks premium. Now, the previous generation Town & Country Grand Caravan, I just didn't really like the interior or exterior styling at all. It just felt and looked cheap. This is a complete 180. It looks really, really good. Now, I did notice a few bits of cheap plastics here and there, but nothing too much. Not like the old Dodge Chrysler days when it was just nothing but Tonka toy plastics throughout the dash. Overall here, the materials are like soft touch plastics and for the most part premium, but there were little bits here and there. But I don't think that's anything that should distract buyers, or I'm just, again, getting kind of nitpicky. And you also have that optional large 8.4-inch UConnect touchscreen that costs an extra $695. You still get a touchscreen standard. It's a little smaller, but this 8.4-inch one is really nice. And here it is. Now, this is UConnect, and it is the name of Fiat Chrysler's infotainment system. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again right now. I think UConnect is the best infotainment system on the market. Yes, better than BMW's iDrive and Audi's infotainment system as well, and that speaks volumes here. This is just such an easy system to work. The graphics are very high quality, it's very intuitive, it's logical, none of that stupid rebooting that we experienced with my Ford Touch, and that has now been replaced with Ford's new Sync 3, but UConnect, in my opinion, is still the best you can get, and it's amazing that it comes from Fiat Chrysler. Now, other features you get in the interior are 8-way power driver and front passenger seats, heated front and second row seats, a heated steering wheel. You have your typical climate control here. And once you've seen these climate control systems, you've seen them all. It's very simple to work. And this is what a minivan is all about. Storage, cubbies, they're everywhere in this thing. I mean, the glove box, yeah, all you need to do is put the owner's manual in there. There's just so many other places for you to put stuff in this car. Whether you're a passenger, the driver, or the front seat passenger, it doesn't matter. There's also a ton of USB outlets there. It's really nice that Chrysler realized that families today, they have a lot of electronic devices. They want to charge them. They want Wi-Fi. And it's all here. This is a really cool feature. Instead of having a typical transmission lever, which just, takes up space, they just narrowed it down to this little dial. We saw something similar to this in the Chrysler 200. And I think that's a really cool feature to have because, again, you're creating more space here that can be used for storage or just nothing. And I think it really works appropriately for a minivan, just having a dial there. And the drivers also have their own screen right here that gives them all the basic driver information. Again, the graphics here, the colors are very clear. So let's talk safety here. Now, because this is a minivan, it's designed for families. You got front airbags, driver's knee airbags, side curtain airbags in all rows, front seat mounted airbags, park view rear camera backup, blind spot and cross path detection, park sense rear park assist, electronic stability control, and hill start assist. Now, this one is also equipped with the Advanced Safety Tech Group, which also includes a 360-degree surround view camera system, and that Park Sense front and rear parking assistance with a stopping feature too. There's also parallel and perpendicular park assist, adaptive cruise control, full speed forward collision warning, and lane departure warning. So yeah, this is probably a very safe vehicle. The U.S. government is still hasn't crash tested it yet, but that's coming up very soon. But I don't expect for this thing to fail. So how does it drive? I gotta tell you, it's actually kind of fun to drive. It's easy to maneuver. For an example, it doesn't really have like a wide turning radius, and the ride is, it's pretty soft. It's nice steering response, but I will say the Honda Odyssey does still have like a sportier feel. And overall, there's just good visibility, and the large windows give the interior just a really nice, airy feel. Now, something else you need to know is that later this year, a plug-in hybrid version is coming, and it's going to feature a lithium-ion battery located under the second row. And the plug-in hybrid Pacifica can run for 30 miles before the V6 engine kicks back in. And it'll deliver, get this, 80 miles per gallon E in the city. The battery can be fully recharged in 2 hours using a 240-volt plug-in system. So yeah, the plug-in Pacifica coming later this year. I'm anxious to check that out too. And just take a look. This is one of the beauties of a minivan. Second row. It's very spacious. Lots of legroom here. Ah yes, rear entertainment system. Again, this is an optional feature, but I predict a lot of buyers are going to opt for it. You have these same awesome graphics that you get on the main 8.4-inch infotainment screen up front. This is going to be great for the kids, especially on long road trips. If you have a family, I recommend trying to find the extra money to go for this entertainment system. It'll make your road trips a lot easier. And there it goes. It just folds very neatly into the seat. Yeah, that electronic lift gate there, that comes in handy for a lot of people, let me tell you. Now, storage. Something else I kind of realized here is that there is no standard spare tire. That actually costs an extra $295. Again, without the spare tire, you create extra storage space. As you can see here, you have these what they call Stow N Go Seats, and man, just look how easy they fold into the floor. Back in the day, I remember you had to remove the seats entirely. You had to lift it up out of the minivan, and they had the little wheels on them, and you could roll them on the ground. But then Chrysler came up with this system, Stow N Go, and they've improved it for the 2017 Pacifica too. And what I think is really good about this is the fact that I predict a lot of soccer moms are going to be the primary drivers of this Pacifica, just as they are with the Grand Caravan and Town & Country. And using the Stow N Go, it's just incredibly easy. It's designed for everybody to use. And there you go. You only have that one extra seat left. So what's the competition here? Well, as I already mentioned, you have the Honda Odyssey, Toyota Sienna, as well as the Nissan Quest and the Kia Sedona. Now, all those start at the high 20s, low $30,000 range, and they top off in the mid $40,000 range. Now, this brand new Pacifica, the base LX, begins at $28,595, and that's actually $1,400 less than the Town & Country. Now, the Touring L Plus, which is this trim here, it begins at $37,895. Now, ours featured a lot of extra options, and including the $995 destination fee, the vehicle you're looking at right here comes to a grand total of $43,145. Now, interesting, the limited trim, it begins at $42,495, and it'll probably go up to around the $45,000, $46,000 range. So what do I like? The V6 power. It's great acceleration, those Stow N Go seats, and the great overall packaging and the features and the styling inside and out. Now, what don't I like? too many cheap looking plastic materials, and again, there's no standard spare tire. But the bottom line is that Pacifica is better in every way than the Town & Country, and it sets new standards for the minivan segment. I'm out of time for today. Thanks for watching. Any questions? Leave them for me in the comment section below, and I'll see you on my next unboxing review.